what had happened between myself and a friend of mine. So when I came to business, I took a business coach. I have been under coaching ever since, even today. And my friend did not have a coach. And so, as a good friend, I tried to share some of the things that I was learning with her. But in truth, I was myself trying to fight a battle. And so, most of the time, the conversations I would have with her would be a little bit too late. Better late than never. But I was very aware of the fact that my friend's decisions cost her a lot of money and a lot of time, a lot of heartache too in the process. And my journey seemed to be a little smoother. So let me tell you why I took a business coach. I was a scientist, didn't know much about business. And I knew that these things require strategy. And I did not have the business know-how to be strategic. That's why I found myself a coach, because my research at the time suggested that if you had a coach, the coach will share their experience with you so that it will bridge the gap between what you don't know and where you need to be and smooth out your transition. That's my understanding, which convinced me to find a business coach. My friend had a website paid for her. She had paid for the website. She was paying for all these things. She was even running adverts. And one of the first conversations I had with my friend was, so what is your payment gateway? And she's like, what? Payment who? How do you take payments from your clients? Oh, they send me inbox, DMs. And I'm like, what? How many people will have time to click on your inbox to come and message you so they can go and send you, and they can send it by Western Union? Who has time to send you money by Western Union when they are buying something from you? Huh? Who has time to be chatting to you before they buy? Yeah, most of my customers come from Instagram. Okay, what do they do in Instagram? Oh, they chat to me in the DMs, and then they send the money. How many orders are you getting in a week? And we figured out one of the first problems. My friend did not even have a payment gateway. She did not have a booking system, and she's a service provider. Yeah. All right. So, which of the business models are you implementing? She's like, "What business? Who? I'm just doing business." I'm like, huh? What exactly are you? Are you offering middleman services? Are you giving primary deliverables? What exactly are you doing? My friend could not answer. And in that time, we sat down and we figured out together how much money she had already wasted building a website that was converting nothing. Making video after video, getting people's attention, wasting time in the DMs, DM after DM, people were here to chat. A lot of the DMs, she said, were not even serious enquiries. And the ones who shrouded it in inquiry did not transition to then buy a thing from her. She had committed one of the first faux pas of business. And she had caught herself in this limbo. For me, my coach was very clear. The first thing she wanted me to go and do was actually get a payment gateway. I remember asking her about the payment gateway, and she says, you will use it to receive payments. I'm like, well, what payments? Well, if you're going to be a business, you will need to get payments. But nobody's coming yet until you are doing all those things to get clients to pay. So when the client is ready to pay, the system for payment should already be in gear and kicking. Okay. In terms of websites, the about page and the rest of them, yeah, interesting. The jury is still out on that one for me. I wanted to tell my clients about me because every website I had been to had an about page, and they said that and that, and it was actually this coach, the one I'm working with currently, who came on, looked at my systems and said, well, you have caught yourself in a loop with a lot of your customers. They go to your website, it becomes an entertainment strategy. They go from place to place, they watch video after video and move to picture after picture, and then what? And I'm like, well, yeah, you've created a loop, a very entertaining loop. They will spend a lot of time there, and then what? When do they buy something? When do they get a service? Yeah. These things are questions that a person who has been there, done that, will know, because they have usually fallen in those traps and they can ask you. So in this conversation, I was in there having this consultation with my sisters over something else, and it struck me so clearly, and I asked them, do you have a business coach? And they were like, no. I'm like, yeah, that is an emergency. That is a priority. Because I saw something that I know, and I said to them, from my perspective, if you did this with me, I will bypass you with this. And they are my sisters, so I can tell them that I will bypass, and a lot of customers will be like that. There are many people, and those of you who come to me and you want to go and build Etsy, or you want to go and build Shopify, and you want to go and build when you come to me as your business coach, I will tell you not to waste your time with Etsy, with Shopify, with the rest. And people are like, why? I want you to focus on your own domain. If you are going to run ads, you better run ads on your own domain and drive traffic to your domain. If you run an ad to an Etsy store, you are busy driving traffic to the Etsy domain. You are literally doing the job that Etsy should be doing. Well, you are forced to do it because if you don't market to your particular subdomain, nobody else will. But you remember that the primary domain you are driving to, it's the Etsy one or the Shopify one or whatever else. You want to work with your domain so that the traffic you drive brings traffic to your domain. After a while, if you were looking to do brand endorsements and affiliates and the rest of it, a website domain you own which has traffic is going to give you more leverage than somebody who will cite an Amazon subdomain or an Etsy one or whichever one. Yeah. This one I've shared with you for free. It was a very expensive lesson for me. I learned that lesson the very hard and painful way. But having learned it the very hard and painful way puts me in a position to at least help you to avoid the same thing. I have been round the block as a course creator. I've used almost every platform there is for course creators to use, and I have now moved away from other people's platforms into the one unified platform. And again, I can help you to understand why it does not make sense to go and do the patchwork that most of us do. It doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make practical sense. A coach has walked the path before you and knows the pitfalls. They know the traps. They will help you avoid them. because the traps and the pitfalls, they can lead you down very expensive rabbit holes. They can. So if what I discussed with my sisters had not been picked up with them, they will set up this beautiful system. They will have a glossy website. They will drive traffic through adverts, word of mouth, whatever. And then eventually, people will click on their own websites and get redirected to another place. And people have brains like mine. There are many people with my kind of brain. We will be curious and we will go to that place and we will search. And then we will find that we could get the service directly from this place and bypass your intermediary fee, and we can make a cut, we can make a savings. I guarantee you 101% of the people who get the opportunity to do this well, because nobody wants to pay above the odds. If you can bypass a middleman, although you have used the middleman's service to get to your ultimate destination, most of us will have no problems. If it is possible, if there's information available which allows you to bypass, we will bypass and we will go direct. And our only interest at that point will be to make a savings. We want to save, we will. And if you are not aware, your own actions and your own systems may expose you to some of these vulnerabilities. And you will be wondering why people come and they have initial conversations with you and don't go through to buy, because your own systems expose a loophole that enable these people to bypass you. You are literally shooting yourself in the foot unknowingly and doing it anyway. Yeah, that is the value of the business consultancy that you pay for, and it will pay for itself with profit by saving you on some of these costly mistakes. If you get yourself a good business coach, especially if you get yourself a strategist, they will help you to test your systems, need to have your systems tested, and people who have built different systems will be able to tell you the vulnerabilities of some systems and help you to bypass some of those vulnerabilities before you even design your systems. You shouldn't go and build a website and then waste money on running it only to discover that the design is flawed and you are not able to take money from your clients. Yes, you will fix the problem, but that will cost you time and money. It will cost you time, effort, and money. In almost everything you do, coaching is important. I said recently in a speech of mine, even Cristiano Ronaldo still has a coach. He has been doing football 20 years, at the top of football. 20 years almost. He has a coach. Messi has a coach, and they subject to a coach. Why do they do that? They know that the coach has distance, and distance brings clarity. When you are imagining your website, you will be using your consumer eye and what you remember from other people's website. But the consumer eye does not pick up all the tactics, all the strategies behind the websites you visit. I've ended up doing this and pointing out a few issues to some people. And sometimes I pick things up and they're like, how did you see that? Because I am not a consumer of websites. I'm a developer. I've been developing websites about 8 years now for other people. For myself, almost 20. I would tell you, don't go to Wix, and people are like, well, been there, done that. I moved from Wix for a reason. Don't use WordPress. Been there, done that. I can tell you the vulnerabilities of WordPress because I have been there and I have been the subject of the vulnerabilities, and I have cried myself to sleep many nights over issues with WordPress. I have found much better systems, and I can show you some of the better systems. That's the value of a coach. And as I say, this is not just for business, this is common sense. Anything you do, it is better to have the eye of somebody else who knows more than you. Someone who has distance and can see more detail than you. Somebody who has emotional clarity, because if you are emotionally involved, it's difficult. So these decisions are difficult. You can't be clinical when you are emotionally involved. You need somebody who is not emotionally involved, and the person can tell you, look, no matter how much time you spent on this one, it's a dead horse, pull the plug. If you've ever been given a pull the plug command, you will bear me up in admitting how painful it is to execute. When your coach says pull the plug, and you have just spent 8 months of your life you have cried yourself to tears, you have cried yourself to sleep a lot of time over this. I was given a pull the plug command over 6 websites, and at the time each of those websites cost me anywhere between $1,500 and about $2,500 US to build. 6 of them. And my coach says pull the plug. Why did I need to pull the plug? I had naively decided that I was busy and I did not take care of some of the core principles. I gave money, I paid, I had receipts, but I had receipts that went to the subsidiary, and then the subsidiary bought the domain on my behalf and said that they had given me access. But I discovered later, he who buys it owns it. The subsidiary had used their email address and their login to buy it. The service provider only knew the subsidiary. They did not know me, and they certainly were not willing to give me information about an asset that they did not consider mine. And so some of these people were holding me hostage over the websites that I had paid them full price and did not owe a dime over. I had paid full price for it, did not owe a thing, but it didn't change a thing with any of these guys. They still held me hostage. And even though they were holding me hostage, I didn't see anything else I could do. So guess what? My silly self made the decision to continue. I had a coaching session, and my coach is like, what are those websites still doing? Pull the plug. Go and look for the alternative domains. And those of you who've been here a minute would remember that I changed all my domains. theamamanson.com, ama-manson.com, and those variants of my name came from that episode. I had to abandon the original domains. I had to abandon them. ama-manson.com, I have got back because I've managed to find the domain and buy it years later. It was out of action for 5 years, and there are some of those domains till this day I have no money to buy back, because these little buggers are still holding them hostage and refusing to sell them on. Yeah. when I'm your business coach, I will always advise you to buy your domain minimum for 10 years, especially if you intend to continue this business. Buy the domain minimum for 10 years. It's not even that expensive. Buy it. Yeah. Buy it. Buy it. And go use it. You may not even be profitable for 5 years, but it's okay. The domain is yours. You'll be building capacity over time, and when you are ready, the domain would have drawn some traffic and would be established, and it would be credible, and it will help you. So buy it for 10 years, and people are like, what? Yeah, buy the domain for 10 years. Own it. In fact, there are some people I know who buy all other variants of this. So they may own the amamansen.com. They don't intend to use amamansen.net, but they will buy it anyway. So other people cannot buy it and use it. And it will protect their assets much better, because nobody else is using the Amamansen thing in any format. Amamansen.io, they will buy it. Amamansen.org, they will buy it. They will buy every variant of Amamansen, so that all the Amamansens are off the market. They are not really going to use all these things, but these things are protective of the brand. Yeah, these are decisions you can make on experience. You can make these decisions on experience. You can make these decisions often of experience that transcends your limited experience. Other people's secondary experience can help you avoid some of these painful primary experiences. This morning, I wanted to talk to you about the value of business coaching. And I want to conclude by encouraging you to come find one. And come find yours truly, especially those of you who are setting up as solopreneurs. Those of you who are professionals transitioning into entrepreneurship. I actually do have a group specifically for this. It's free. The group is free. And I create content that goes in that group. It informs members of that group. And if you are one of those people who could benefit from that group, then take this opportunity whilst I am still mad and I'm doing this for free to come join us. We will share tips. We will share experiences. You can ask simple questions like, which payment gateways are you guys using? And a lot of us will tell you we no longer use PayPal. And people are like, what? Yeah, I no longer use PayPal. Because again, our people found a loophole in PayPal. And they were exploiting that loophole to consume services and then taking refunds for them. So I use a different payment gateway because I want to protect my earnings. I do. And if you ask that question in a group like that, a lot of us will give you the same response, and then you will discover, oh, okay, PayPal might not be the one to use, although initially almost everybody universally used it. For personal payments and receiving money from friends and family, it seems very viable, but it might not be the best thing to do from a business perspective. But yeah, only those who do business and have been bitten can tell you. Morning, Elaine. I'm good. You? Those who have been bitten can tell you about the bite. more importantly, they can help you avoid getting bitten. Yes. If you want business consultancy on one-on-one, you can come and book with me. If you want to get the group vibe, and we are offering it for free, join the Founders Lab project and let's get the show on the road. I've just arrived at work. I love you loads, but I've got to go. So let me go and chase my tail, and I will see you guys in a bit. Bye.